PS Too Many Games.
Hello guys, welcome to PS Too Many Games. This is not what you thought it was going to be. So, long story short, on the way home from holiday, Scotland, last month, I was caught speeding. I was caught doing 55 and a 50 on the M42 around Birmingham. Now, it's the first time I've ever been caught speeding, so I'm very ignorant about this. I made a technical faux pas. I kind of forgot that Birmingham Council are completely bankrupt and need money. Consequently, doing 55 and a 50, which you would normally get away with, you did it in Birmingham, you got fined. So I've now got to take a speed awareness course, and I've paid a £90 fine. Consequently, that £90 which I usually would spend on this channel, I don't have anymore. So for the month of November, there will be no CEX roulettes. It would be financially irresponsible of me to take money from the Christmas fund for this fund. You don't understand what I'm going for, because it's just not fair. It's not fair. Through my mistake, no one else should be punished. So I'm sorry for this month only. There'll be no CEX roulettes. They'll be back in December because I'll have money then. But I'm sorry about this. There will be 2 episodes most weeks. For some weeks there just won't be. There's been 1 episode. It's a temporary solution to my stupidity. First time caught speeding. Hilariously, nearly every one of my closest friends have all been caught speeding. So I was the last one. 17 years. God. And yes, I was banged the ropes doing 5 miles over the speed limit, but generally speaking, you can get away with that most of the time. Just don't do it around Birmingham. They have no money. So anyway, consequently, there'll be no CEX roulettes.
Oh, that's just sad.
So anyway, back to the episode. This is a CEX rank episode. What the hell does that even mean? We're going to go through every store I've visited while part of this channel, and we're going to rank them from excellent, good, average, which I would call it mere, but it's average, and we'll do not revisit. So it's a 4-scale ranking system. I've been meaning to do this for some time, so this could go quite well, or I could offend some people. We shall find out. Anyway, before we move on, I just want to state for a fact that I've been working the last week on a my biggest buy ever, and that is now gone through. I've now literally, I've paid not so much a lot of money, but I've gotten a bunch of games for significantly less than they should be. It's my best job lot ever. I'll be showing that sometime in next month. Let's just say I've got a lot more really expensive games. So it's been a good month for finding the really rare stuff. But at the same time, when I did that, I forgot the fine. So it's all came at once. So it's like, okay, finances depleted. Anyway, back to this. I'll see you on the other side.
Money, I need money.
Forgive me for a second. I'm still not 100%. About 90% from my flu last week, but I'm still at the point where you get the odd cough, the odd sniffle, tiredness. But it's got the point where I'm nearly back to normal, so it's very noticeable. So if there's some random cuts, that's me having a coughing fit. Simple as that. But anyway, back to the episode. To rank the CEXs, we need some kind of board, some kind of whiteboard, some kind of he spent very little money on it board. So I introduce to you the CEX Board of Excellence.
Oh my god!
Yes, the bank has been broken once again at PS Too Many Games. In all seriousness, I wanted to get a large whiteboard, and they're really expensive. So I just went to my local, not B&M, what's it called? The shop that's slightly better than B&M. Anyway, I went to a B&M-like shop, bought 4 whiteboards, bought a cork board, got some super glue, put them all together, and that came down, that was significantly cheaper than getting actually a large whiteboard. And it actually kind of works out for what I'm going for. So, yeah. So we're going to go through each CEX one by one. There's one I visited just before I started this store. I'm going to put that on the board because I'll tell you why later on. But anyway, we're going to go through this one by one. As you can see, excellent, good, average, avoid. Pretty simple. Bear me a second. So I have literally I write down every CEX I go to. I legit do, because sometimes you don't go to the same place twice. You forget sometimes. So we're going to start with the very basic ones, the obvious ones, and the local ones. So first, Great Yarmouth CEX. Good. Great. They're very good. I've been there like literally multiple times over the last year, and to be perfectly honest, they're very good. They have what I would describe as a quality control. They don't take anything in, they actually take stuff they think is going to work. There's a couple of CEXs that will take anything, I've mentioned that in the past, but Great Yarmouth, very good, always been friendly, and I've gotten a few rare games for them, so they're going to go in the good section. Obviously, with the light reflecting off the camera, I will show the bold cursor at the end of the episode because you can't see that, so, and I will start writing them a little larger. I'm just getting used to this, I'm not used to this yet. Norwich, second store Norwich. Norwich was going to be excellent, but they're going to be good. Main reason for that is basically one of my close friends had a bit of a quality control issue where they tried to buy something and it was missing a very important part, and without that part, the console could potentially set itself on fire. I'm not even joking. That's a legit thing. We googled it. For that reason alone, I can't put them excellent. They were very close to being excellent. Norwich have always been fantastic for me. The majority of my uncommon games have come from Norwich, like the games that are hard to find. Bear me a second. I'm gonna try and. There we go. That's a bit better. Yeah, so Norwich is going to be good again. Generally speaking, what you're going to find is 80. I think I actually did the mathematics. 87.5% of these stores will be average or above. So only 3 stores are going to end up here. I think anyone who's been watching the channel for the last 6 months can tell me which 3 stores are going to end up there. And my last of the local 3, Lowestoft, they're also going to go in good. To be honest, when I first visited them, they were going to go in average, but they've got a lot better in the last. For me personally, they've got a lot better in the last 2 months. I was incredibly harsh on the first time. That's on me. That's just me being an arsehole. The last 2 times have been fantastic customer service. I tend to forget because they're a very small store, the smaller CEX I've been to, they can't get everything on the shelf. So a lot of the peripherals, like the 2 Guitar Heroes for instance, you have to ask for. And because no one touches them, they stay in the back and they actually look pretty good. So that's why I bought both of them. So
that makes sense.
Generally speaking, I would recommend them to anyone. Simple as that. Right, let's go a little further afield. Kings Lynn. We're going to go for average for Kings Lynn. So Kings Lynn actually is a very big store, and generally speaking, got some decent games from there, but quality control is a bit of an issue. I've only bought cheap games from Kings Lynn, and some of the games were on the edge of not viable, but for the shovelware stuff, I bought some of that stuff for that because I need to find it, kind of thing. If it was anything that worth of decent value, I would have said no. Good customer service though. Besides the quality control, good customer service. So it's going to get an average. It's pretty much that. I would always go back to these stores when I went. Obviously, the avoid stores I would never go back to. So I'm going to go back to Kingsland sometime, but it won't be anytime soon. If you understand where I'm coming from, it's one of those things. Let's go a little further afield. Huntington. If you remember, I went to Huntington with Peterborough. Huntington actually was good. One of the better stores. Once again, a very small store, but fantastic customer service and knowledgeable staff. Obviously, some staff legit only obviously know about phones and don't give a crap about computer games. That's perfectly fine. CEX makes more money off phones than anything else. That's the fact, I believe. But computer games, you're going to get a lot more questions about. So, to be perfectly honest, having someone who knows their stuff is always a fabulous bonus. And there was 2 guys there who knew their stuff and helped me quite a lot. Plus, I did pick up quite a few games there. So, Huntington is a good store. Once again, I highly recommend it. Bear me a second, just need to fix the L's. So now we come to our first avoid store. I think you already know where this is going. Peterborough. Strongly avoid Peterborough. How can I put this? It's got 2 floors, which if I can't spell, guys. I'm just where it is. Fuck it, who cares? 2 floors, it was alright, but the quality control wasn't great. I found at least 5 games that were American, so you couldn't buy them over. They should be selling them rather than getting them traded in. The organisation was awful. But most importantly, out of the 4 staff, I would say 3 of them did not care whatsoever and looked incredibly sad to be there. It was quite possibly my second worst experience at CEX. And also, this was a store that a random, I believe he was Turkish, random Turkish fella came up to me. Bearing in mind, I'm in double denim jacket. Came up to me and asked me, how do these headphones work? And it's like, mate, I don't fucking work here. So I was like, go away. Sorry, I still laugh at that one to this day. But honestly, I'm never going back to Peterborough CX. Once was enough. As simple as that. I'm sorry if anyone works there, but yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know if you had a bad day, but you were bad. You were bad. Simple as that. I'm just going to say it.
You've made a powerful enemy today, my friend.
Moving on. So we're going to make a brief detour down to the south coast, Portsmouth and Southampton. So obviously there's 4 stores, 2 in each. I think some of you know where this is going also. Avoid the bigger Portsmouth store. It's just called Portsmouth, by the way. The other one's got its own name, but I can't say the organisation was bad. What I can say is they had the worst customer service of any CEX I've ever been in yet. Making someone wait 10 minutes plus in a queue that's only 5 deep when you've got 5 staff, and I see visibly 4 staff in the corner having a conversation when one of them could have easily jumped on a second till to get me through. It's rude. It's just rude. You don't, and I've worked in retail, by the way. I've worked in retail. You don't make customers wait when you can help them. By that I mean it's jump on a till. It's just bad work ethic. And to be honest, it's the worst customer service in CEX. I'm never going back to the big Portsmouth store again. Yeah, I got a few good games from them. I don't give a shit. At the end of the day, first impressions are everything. Now, my first impression there while in that queue was, wow, these guys are just completely lazy and don't give a crap about their customers. Fact. Angry rant over. Which is hilarious because their sister store, Portsmouth North End, was a very good store. Portsmouth North End, which is basically a lot smaller, and obviously, as it might sound, in the north end of Portsmouth, was very good, very helpful, and to be honest, very knowledgeable. Complete opposite of Portsmouth, the biggest store in the centre of town. Highly recommend the small store. Avoid the big store. Simple as that. It was awful, like really bad. I'm sorry if he upset you. It's a fact. I'm going to get some hate for this episode. I think I might get some hate. we'll fucking see. No, I'm going to get some hate. Right, let's go to their next door neighbours, the city of Southampton. Once again, the biggest store was not that good, but it wasn't a void. It was meh. What was the biggest issue with the big Southampton store? Once again, the same as King's Lynn. Quality control. I tried to buy 4 games there, and I only took 2 away. Because 2 of the games I checked, the scratches were horrific. They should never got those traded in. They're never going to sell them unless someone just don't give a crap. Quality control is important for like disc-based games for obvious reasons. But the customer service is very good, and so was the organisation. That's why I get an okay. Would I go back there again? Probably would, but obviously being I live in Norfolk, and that's the other side of the country, it's not going to happen anytime soon. Whereas again, that sister store, Southampton, this is called Shirley, but it's Southampton Shirley, that was good. Once again, got a good haul of games, very knowledgeable people, and generally we were happy to have a customer. That sounds wrong, but yeah. You might notice a theme, by the way. These smaller stores tend to try harder than the big stores, and the big stores tend to give me that impression of, I don't care. Because honestly, if you look at this, right, Great Yarmouth's a medium store, Norwich is a large store, but they actually try. Small store for lower stuff, small Huntington, small Portsmouth, small Southampton, all good. Peterborough and Portsmouth, large stores, piss awful. King's Lynn and Southampton, large stores, average. You see the pattern at the moment? It seems to be the way. At the moment, I would recommend go to the smaller stores, they try harder. They really do. Anyway, let's bring it back now, shall we? Let's bring it back. Ipswich. Ipswich. It's between good and average, to be honest. Am I generous or am I an asshole? I'm being generous. We're going good. Both times I've been there, I haven't really got a good range of games, but that's not their fault. It's just what they've got. Customer service was alright. It wasn't brilliant, but it wasn't hard. It wasn't bad. So it's just a case of if they ain't got that, they can't buy it kind of thing. That's not their fault, obviously. Always weird going to Ipswich because they've got the big plain glass window at the front where there's nothing, so you can just literally go around the corner, just look in the window, and it's like, what are they doing in there? It's weird. It feels like you've been stared at from the outside. But it's a good store. They seem alright. Thetford is definitely good. Bit weird, but good. For those of you with good memory, Thetford's the store where they play non-stop heavy metal, rock, grunge on their radio all the time, which I'm all for. Also, it's the store where any kind of game that is worth less than £5, they actually just keep the disc in the case on the shelf. So Thetford are pretty much the same. I don't give a shit about theft. You can steal them. They are worthless.
Rule number 1, you gotta be quick. Rule number 2, don't fall down. And rule number 3, whatever you do, never look back. Y'all wish me luck. Snatch and run, y'all! Come back here, you...
I love that logic. And the customer service has always been good. We had a good 25-minute conversation about D&D last time I was there. Well, 2 D&D masters. My best friend Scott's D&D master, and it was hilarious because it was like knowledge. So they're going to be good. They're going to stay good for a while. To be honest, I'm probably going to go there more often than most because it's only an hour away from where I live, and both times I've gone there have been good. Plus the fact they keep their discs in the cases. Finding platinums there is a lot easier than any other store because the amount of times I buy platinum and it's not the actual disc makes me sad. Felixstowe, average. Felixstowe's weird. How can I put this? It's literally the only CEX for like 20-30 miles apart from Ipswich, right? It's literally on the edge of the coast. You only really go to Felixstowe for the port. You don't go for tourism. It's a place where a lot of old people pretty much go to retire, and yet they got a CEX for young people. The customer service was alright, but it wasn't special, so it's just average. It's one of those things where it's like... it's one of those things where it's like, why is this here? Why is this here? By the way, if something's spelt wrong, I'm sorry. My spelling... like, yeah, I'm not great, to be honest. There's certain words I've never spelled for the first time. Obviously, like eggs, that stuff's fine, but like Felixstowe is not an easy name to spell, to be honest. Good. So what we got to now is like 3, 6, 8, 10, 13. We're over halfway, guys. We're over halfway. So we're going to now move to we're going to move to the London side of things. Brixton. I mean, I literally did say on the channel that it's the worst CEX store I've been to, and that's not changed. Brixton is an avoid store. Terrible. I went in there to find free games, and I couldn't find any free of them. They were not on the shelf. So they could have sold. I doubt that, because they were all shovelware. And they were all shovelware no one wants. So they're just poor organisation. Customer service was also not that great, to be perfectly honest. The retro section was incredibly small. And this is also the store where a person dressed in a white cloth, wearing a sandal on the left foot and a trainer on the right foot, came in and shouted, "Repent!" and just walked out and ran the road. I was like, what the hell's going on? I'm never going back to Brixton. Just one of those things. No offense to anyone who lives in Brixton, I'm not going back. It just wasn't my place, man. It just wasn't where I wanted to. But Elephant and Castle, which is close by, was actually quite good. We're just going to put Ella and Castle, because I can't get it all on the board. Once again, small store, great customer service, good array of games, knowledgeable people. Also talked wrestling with them, so they were my favourite people. Once again, the smaller stores, if you notice, there's not one bad small store on this board. Just saying, small stores, they're pretty good. Okay, so bear me a second, I've got to catch up. So the only thing we've got left are the Scottish stores, which obviously you've seen, and the 4 stores you haven't technically seen yet. Well, I haven't talked about yet. And 1 store in the north. The store that I did before I started this channel. You'll see what I mean.
Just keeps going.
So anyway, we're going to do Scottish Stores next. Falkirk was good, very good. It was a bad day weather-wise, so customer service is very good. Plus, that's the place I got Wild Arms 4 from, and I got a few other rare games from. And they're very nice people, good customer service. It's a good store, I would recommend it. It's a bit of a shame Falkirk is it felt deprived. It felt like they needed money, but that's most towns these days. Cumbernauld is the first store on the excellent board. I cannot say anything but good things about Cumbernauld. Newest store, yes. I wouldn't call it super small, but good organised. Beautifully organised. Customer service was fantastic. Legit, they tried very hard. Found the rare games I needed. Honestly, one of the best experiences I had at CEX. That's why it's going in excellence. It's in one of the smallest Scottish towns in the north. I would highly recommend Cumbernauld to anyone. Legit. Right, so while we're on that train of thought, the store that you haven't seen but I visited before the actual channel began, Doncaster. Now, if you remember correctly, the channel basically became a thing on the way home from Doncaster Gaming Market when I said I'm going to start a YouTube channel, can you come up with a name? And literally Dan, the first answer Dan gave just call it PS Too Many Games. And I was like, that's really good. And that's how it's done, right? It's just done. But honestly, Doncaster is also excellent. Doncaster is by far the best big store of any CEX. Beautifully organised. Not Dan, Doncaster. Beautifully organised. Both floors, because it's the only store I've been where both floors are taken care of, like legit. Helpful, great array of games. One of the few stores where they keep the PS1 games on the shelf too, which is a bit weird, but I do like that. It's a nice touch. But honestly, for some reason, Doncaster seems to be for the north side of Great Britain is the best place for retro gaming. Between that CEX, between Doorway to Darkness, and Doncaster Gaming Market being the best gaming market last year, yes, I did say that. It was for me personally. I dropped £300 there that year. I bought a lot of games there. Yes, it is. I highly recommend Doncaster CEX. It's one of the best ones. It really is. Right, so all we've got left are the 4 stores you haven't seen yet. We shall start with Bishop Stratford. I can't say it. That's an average. That's a meh. While I was there, they were clearly doing some kind of stock take, and that had all their attention. There was about 5 of them there, and the customer service was kind of awful. It really was. Especially the guy serving me, he just didn't seem to care. But I'm not putting. I wouldn't avoid them because they were doing a stock take. So I know what stock takes are like. They're a pain in the ass, but it still wasn't brilliant. So they're going to go for average, but it could have been an avoid. But I'm going to give them benefit of the doubt because stock takes are awful. But it's one of those things we have to do. Harlow, which you're going to see very shortly. Good. Harlow was very good. I question their choice in putting the expensive boxes at the front window so they can get sun, you know what I mean, so they can sun fade. That was a bit questionable, but besides that, they were very good. Apart from the large, like, Mitsubishi aircon system, it looks like it was chugging. It's like, while you're in there, all your hair was like... It's like, it sounded like a 1940s motorbike. It was horrific. But the store and the customer service was pretty good, so I would recommend that. Cambridge. We'll go good. Big store, 2 floors. Genuinely nice customer service. One of the weirdest things in my visits of all time, while queuing to buy some games, on the audio came on the American National Anthem. I have no idea why. It was weird. I was standing in queue for 3 minutes, like, this is the American National Anthem. It's like, why the hell is this being played in Cambridge? I know Cambridge is one of the 2 big university cities. I know, obviously, like, they got ideals, but American National Anthem? Bit weird. Just a bit weird. But they were good. Last but not least, Hartford. They're going to be excellent for now. They might go down the good. Main reason being, you're going to find out very soon in the episode, I got a very nice free gift there. You'll see in the episode. We walked into Hartford, right? Hartford was not on the plan. That was just near. But we walked into Hartford. As soon as we walked in, the person behind is like, "Hey guys!" It's like, "Oh wow, that was quick." He saw we had cameras, right, because we did some films. Like, what are you doing? It's like, I immediately thought, okay, this guy doesn't like filming. So I explain what we do, and he goes, oh, thank God. He goes, thank God, I thought you were my manager. Because apparently the area manager's in the area. Appropriate, as you imagine. So they were on like yellow alert, like full customer service mode. Anyway, very good store. Only slight downside, it was a very small store, like we're talking like lower stuff small. So they had to incorporate the PS2 games with the Wii games on the same shelf. I hated that, but I understood why. That's why they get a pass for that. But they're excellent for now. They're probably going to go down the list a little later on because, yeah, you'll see why I put them in next one. So anyway, guys, that is the full board. So as you can see, my writing's terrible, by the way. Cumbernauld, Doncaster, Hartford, excellent. Great Yarmouth, Norwich, Lowestoft, Huntington, Portsmouth North End, Southampton, Shirley, Ipswich, Thetford, Elephant and Castle, Harlow, Falkirk and Cambridge, good. Kingsland, Southampton, Felixstowe and Bishop Stratford, average. I can't spell, forgive me. Avoid, Peterborough, Portsmouth and Brixton. So that is the 22/24 stores I've visited. I have visited a lot more stores in the past, but I can't put them on there. You haven't seen them, it's not fair. I'm going to keep adding, obviously, stores to this board when I get the new stores. I've enjoyed doing this, actually. I don't get to do this very often, to be honest, because, yeah. So anyway, that's pretty much the end of this episode. I humbly apologise for there being no CX roulettes this month. It's completely my fault. Got caught speeding, had to pay the fine, I got punished, that's the way it is. I'm sorry, but I had to take out the gaming budget, so... It's only for a month, though. We'll be back in Doncaster. But on the bright side, 2 major deals were done this month. I've already got the first deal. I've already got the first lot here. They'll get their own episode. The second lot is an even bigger deal. That's nearly done when we get there. So to be honest, I've got a lot of stuff till like December. So we're not gonna. I don't think you're gonna miss out. Put it that way. But obviously with Christmas coming up, I had to prioritise Christmas gifts throughout this channel for the obvious reasons. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe. Generally speaking, this channel is... I do spend quite a lot of time on the channel now. I do enjoy this still. I will be honest, once I stop enjoying doing this, that's when I'm going to be backing off a little. But I'm still enjoying this. I'm still enjoying the collecting. I don't think it's going to change anytime soon, put it that way. Thank God, because I didn't think the channel was going to get slightly popular, and it's gotten slightly popular, so yeah. Thank you for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. I will see you guys next week. Depending on when this episode comes out, before or after the CX Halo episode. I don't know. We'll see. Bye, guys.